What's up, guys? War here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to bring you a leveling guide for day one of the monk. Okay, so we started a monk last night on stream. My chat voted, so we started a monk, and it has been an absolute just blast playing this character. You can see down here I'm using Ice Strike with Tempest Bells all over the place. Don't worry though, it's not, you know, 7 different Tempest Bell skills. It's just one. I just have them all over the place because it looks cool. So I wanted to bring you a day one completion, just kind of leveling guide up to day one, because we finished act 1 and we just got into act 2. So I'm pretty excited about this character. Monk is actually really strong and kind of insane for a melee character. So we're going to go ahead and make this guide. I'm going to update it as we go on with day 2. I'm going to be playing day 2 later tonight, so I'll have an update for you guys there. But I kind of wanted to bring you along the way. So here goes day 1 leveling guide of the build. Now, before we get into the gear, because there is some stuff that I want to showcase to you, day 1, very easy. I think a lot of people talk about how rough it is to play monk in the early stages until you get Ice Strike. You do not get Ice Strike until level 14. Okay, you can't get Ice Strike until level 14. However, you do get Tempest Bell really easy. Okay, you get it at level 6, and once you get Tempest Bell, this build just absolutely slaps. Like, the bell is insanely strong and just overpowered, and it's just really cool. I really do enjoy it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the passive tree, because I know what everybody wants to see first, and I just want to kind of take you along the way here and just show you what I've done. So, monk, we are kind of an intelligence dexterity hybrid, so we are going to just be blasting along this tree here. The ascendancy that we're eventually going to be going to is Invoker, because Invoker is just the best one. But let me go ahead and take you along the tree here. At the end of Act 1, okay, I am level 16, and going into Act 2 at level 16. In each act, you get 4 bonus passive points. So here's the tree, and this is the kind of way that you need to go. So you need to go skill speed all the way up to crit damage into flow like water. Then we're immediately going to take flow state. And after this is going to increase your skill speed and mana regen. And after we get flow state, we're going to go all the way up here to crashing wave for more crit. Then we're going to come down, and then the next point you're going to take is the crit damage all the way up to here. For moment of truth, which is really good for crit. And then we're going to take these points all the way up here. We're going to get attack damage, and then we're going to get more attack damage. And then once we level again, we're going to take killer instinct, okay? 30% increased attack damage when on full life is really insane. And then if we happen to go to low life, it's 50%. It's an absolute game changer. So those are going to be your first points you take. And then eventually we're going to come down here and we're going to grab Essence of the Mountain. After that, so we'll take our next 3 points here into freeze build up into Essence of the Mountain just to go ahead and get that. But this is up to level 16, so this is 20 points, your first 20 points into the passive tree. Okay, very important. Now, into the skills here, so we have Ice Strike. Now, before you go with Ice Strike, until you get to level 14, you're going to use Falling Thunder. Falling Thunder is just a better skill, if I can just showcase this real quick. So it's just a really good skill. Now, up until you get to Ice Strike, you will be using your basic attack. So you'll stack your basic attack along with Falling Thunder. And then after that, you get Tempest Spell. You go basic attack into Tempest Spell because it's just the strongest. Now, with Falling Thunder, we are doing Ambush for more crit chance. And then we're doing Long Shot, which gives it more attack damage at further out, which is really nice. We didn't put... Now, in the beginning, you're going to put Martial Tempo into your quarterstaff. You want this very at the beginning and before you get Ice Strike, so that way your attack speed is as high as it can be to build up the charges for Tempest Bell. So you'll basically be doing your basic attack with Falling Thunders here and there with Tempest Bell. So once you get Tempest Bell, you do Consecrated Effect for more area damage, and then you're going to do Overabundance. Now, I do have jewels. I want to talk about these guides because we're a few weeks into this early access. So in my stash, like I have a lot of currency here. So if you do not have a lot of currency or you're just now starting up, I'm going to give some options and some things to do if you don't have this stuff. But if you do and you have been playing since the launch, then you should have some currency and able to like Lesser Jeweler orb your gems, which is why I have 3 here. Or otherwise you're like Falling Thunder and you only get 2. So with Tempest Bell, if you don't have any lesser jeweler orbs, then you start with consecrated effect and overabundance. But if you have a jewel, then you're going to add a third one. And you're going to put in heavy swing for even more damage. This is very, very strong. This is definitely the best way to do this. Okay. Now even without heavy swing, Tempest Bell will carry you with just these 2 gems all the way through. Okay. Now, once we get Herald of Ice, that's the next thing that you're going to unlock with a level 4 Spirit Gem. We get Herald of Ice. This is really, really strong. And 100% explosion of physical damage converted to cold damage because we're doing cold damage, which is fantastic. You get 30 Spirit from the guy in Act 1. It's this dude up here. The Hunting Grounds Ritual is where you get the 30 Spirit, so we can use Herald of Ice. Very, very strong. We support this with Cold Mastery to give it another level, as well as Magnified Effects, so it has a bigger AoE. Now, into Tempest Bell, once you get it unlocked, you got those 2. Boom, we're good to go. So, Ice Strike. Once you get Ice Strike at level 14, we're going to put Martial Tempo in. We're going to move this from our basic attack because we're no longer going to be using our basic attack. We use only Ice Strike now. Ice Strike, we're going to put Martial Tempo for more attack speed. We're going to put Ice Bite. Attacks gain 35% of damage as cold for 3 seconds on freezing an enemy with supported skills. Incredibly strong. Incredibly powerful. Now, again, if you do not have a lesser jeweler orb, then what I would suggest is you take Ice Bite out and you'll put in Primal Arraignment. This is just 25% more elemental damage. This is better than Ice Bite. So if you don't have 2, then just run Primal as well as Martial Tempo. But if you have 3, then you add in Primal, because 25% more weapon elemental damage, since we're doing cold, is a lot of damage. This is insane, right? So once you get to here, you don't even need Falling Thunder anymore, and you'll basically just do Ice Strike, Tempest Spell with Herald of Ice activated, and this should carry you through. We're in Act 2, so I'll have to give you an update on that, but right now this should just carry me through the entire thing. Now, let's talk about gear and some of the choices that we have here. So, if you're like me and you've been stashing gear and you have been playing, I have leveling gear here that I've kind of picked up and kept around for new characters that I make, so that way it makes the leveling experience a little bit easier. Now, I will tell you that there is an alternative way if you do not want to follow quarterstaffs all the way to 14, because it can seem a little tough using just quarterstaffs to 14. You can choose to use a bow with a quiver and do lightning arrow until you get to 14. It seems to be very, very strong in the beginning. That way it makes the leveling smooth until you get to 14. So if you do that, what I suggest is to get the this bow here. Get the crude bow, and then just get a quiver like this one, which has plus, or get something that has like adds damage to anything. It'll just boost it, and then you can just sail through until you get to 14. Okay, so if you're not going to do the bow, we're going to do the quarterstaff. This is the quarterstaff I started with. I got this thing at level 3. I got it from the vendor. It was really, really nice, and I decided to regal it. So we added the fizz damage, but we got it with +2. Level to all melee skills, 6 increased attack speed, and 43% elemental damage with attacks. If you get a weapon like this early on, it is very, very strong and will carry you through. So it makes things much, much easier. Okay, so this is what I used. And then when I got up to 13, I upgraded to this one here. Okay, and I added 2 runes here. 68% increased physical accuracy, crit damage bonus, increased attack speed, and mana on kill. So this staff should carry me for a very, very long time until I get something better. And then we did put 2 artificer stones in there, or artificer orbs, to put in the runes, which give physical damage. Now, again, if you're just starting out following this guide, you don't have artificer orbs or runes to put in, that's perfectly fine. Just use a weapon and try to get these modifiers or close to it, and it should help carry you through. All right, now next is the chest piece. This is a legendary chest piece I got. It increases evasion and gives me rage. Rage gives me more damage every single time I'm, getting hit. So this chest piece is very, very strong. However, it's not required for the build. This was the chest piece that I was using before. So increased armor, +2 evasion, increased armor and evasion, and 7 res. Finding something that just gives you a huge amount of life, resistance, and evasion early on is perfectly fine. You're not really bound to anything too crazy, but this chest piece was really, really what I was using until I decided to get this, because 65% increased evasion is really, really good. Next is going to be your ring. Okay, so This is the ring that I was using until I got an upgrade. This is just an iron ring. Iron rings you can get from the vendor. They are incredibly strong. They add fizz damage to attacks, which is great because we convert our damage into cold, which is fantastic. And we got a dexterity roll, which is great. Evasion rating on there, which is awesome. So, really solid ring. Same thing here that we got. But this ring right here is going to help carry you through the entire campaign. Okay? This ring is absolutely insane. So it gives you cold res, increased cold damage, mana, strength, and then enemies chilled by your hits can be shattered as though they were frozen. So let me run out here and I just want to showcase how good this ring is. So you'll run up here and you'll see me explode everything. That's the shatter from the ring itself. Okay? You shatter everything. All right? Now, like I've said, I have the currency because I've been grinding and playing since the launch here. And we actually... The Inscribe Ultimatum for 1 alch. Somebody wants to buy my alch in the video. Okay. Alright. For one alch. Sweet. I didn't realize I put it as an alch. That's okay. That's fine. I didn't realize I put it as an alch. That's okay. Not a big deal. We'll honor the trade. We'll honor the trade. I have so many of those. It's not a big deal. Sure. Hook me up, brother. Thanks, man. Thank you. Okay. So, if you have the currency, then you can get this ring. Okay. This ring, if you go look on the market here, there is some bots in here for like 10 exalts, but you can get it for around 20 to 25 exalts or 30 exalts. I got mine for 25 exalts. Make sure though, when you do search this ring in here, that you go down to the trade filters and you pick exalted orb, because if you just pick relative, all it's going to show is a divine orb for this thing. And this thing is shot up in price. Okay. You used to be able to get these for nothing, like 1-2 exalts. And now because of how monks have been exploding, they're even more expensive. So make sure you select exalted orb when you're searching. That way you can come down and get it for like 20 to 30 exalts. Now, if you do not have this ring, that's okay. You just use an iron ring and you'll be just fine. You won't have the explosion, but the build will be just fine. Let's see if we swap these rings out. I'll run back up here and fight. The build is still just as strong, carrying me through like before I've got that ring. It'll work just the same. You just won't have the explosions and the AoE, which will make clearing a little bit easier for you. But when you're coming through, it's like not bad. Like you can still, like you still destroy stuff, right? Like you still take stuff out, no problem. You know what I mean? Like it's not that bad at all. But having that ring just makes things so much easier to explode stuff. So you don't necessarily have to have this ring, but I can tell you, like, since getting it, it makes playing the game just so much easier. So I just wanted to show an update on that. This ring is not required for the leveling build at all. You do not have to have it. I can't stress that enough, because there is a lot of people that get upset, you know, when they see leveling guides and stuff, and there's like, oh, there's this unique or this item and it costs, you know, 25 exalts. Well, I don't have 25 exalts. That's perfectly fine. You can use this iron ring and just be set. Okay. The bristleboard leather vest is like an exalt if you want to buy it. Otherwise, you can use this ring, this armor here. No big deal. So, yeah, guys, that is the leveling guide day 1 of the monk. We are doing Ice Strike Invoker just all the way through. So hopefully this should carry me through the entire game, or at least the campaign. But I will keep you updated tonight after I get out of work. I will be live on Twitch and YouTube at, you know, Warlug. Search the channel. And we're going to be doing day 2 of Monk, which is going to be really, really fun. So I'll be happy to bring you guys an update on that. But yeah, guys, this is the leveling build for your first like 24 or 25 levels, or 25 points. So follow along with me, guys. Like the video, comment down below. Let me know if you guys have any other questions about the build so far. I can go over my other gear, like my gloves. We just got some random rare gloves that we found. Our belt's pretty basic. Our amulet is pretty basic, just for some more dex. Our helmet is okay with the increased energy shield. And then our boots, we have 50% move speed, which is pretty cool. I always hold on to boots that have move speed at lower levels just for when I make new characters. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment below. That really helps out the channel and the algorithm. I'll answer any questions that you guys have about it. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And as always, stay gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.